Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Changhua in Taiwan. I didn't draw the borders of the county because it's like this big. It's very small. So it's just this area here. We can see Lukang over here. It's just this area here. Very small portion of a very small island there. So there's not much to say in terms of geography. The area is known as the Granary of Taiwan. So there's lots and lots of farmland between the coast port area and the city of Changhua. Just within the city limits is Mount Bagua, which I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But other than that, that's pretty much it for geography. Yeah, it's very tiny, so not much to say in terms of geography. There's so many more beautiful sites around Taiwan, and we'll be looking at some of them coming up pretty soon. You can see down here. But tonight we're just talking about this little area here. So let's talk about the history here. This area was home to the indigenous Taiwanese people known as the Babuza, which I believe they're still around. I think. I didn't double check that. Anyway, this was their home here, which of course would slowly be colonized by the Chinese, later the Dutch, back to the Chinese. What would become the city of Changhua started off as a trading post during the Ming Dynasty. It would become a formalized town/city in 1723 during the reign of the Qing Dynasty. Taiwan, of course, has come under the control of many people. Like I said, there were the Chinese. The Dutch had this area for quite a minute until the Chinese took it back. But the Japanese would take over Taiwan in 1895. And the people of Changhua were not about that. Up in Mount Bagua, there was a huge battle against the residents here and the Japanese, which the Japanese won out in time, but there was a very large resistance movement to the Japanese for quite a bit. In the 1920s, 1930s, Japan really modernized this area. In 1923, they built a big train roundhouse at the train station here, which is something that doesn't really exist anymore. I believe a lot of roundhouses have become obsolete, run down, repurposed into something else, but this roundhouse is still functioning today. It's essentially a train parking lot where trains sit when they're not in use, but it's round and it rotates to send out the trains that need to be sent out. It's pretty neat. We'll take a look at it on Google Earth. But yeah, that's a good example of the more modernization of the area by the Japanese when they controlled Taiwan. They would give Taiwan back to China in 1945 at the end of World War II. But very famously, in 1949, the island became known as the Republic of China after the communist government led by Mao Zedong took over mainland China. Chiang Kai-shek and the peoples who wanted democracy in China moved here to Taiwan, created their own China. We won't get into the details here because they don't really pertain to Changhua. But I feel like if you know world geopolitics, you know the story. It doesn't quite pertain to this area tonight, so I won't get into detail, but yes, Taiwan is not its official name. Taiwan is the name of the island, and just even though people in mainland China technically can't watch my videos because they don't have YouTube, so I don't expect a lot of actuallys. That's blah, blah, blah in the comments. I don't anticipate that. But if you are going to leave those comments, I'm just going to delete them because this is not the time for that. I'm saying Taiwan because that is the name of this island. And it's also what this area is known as in the country that I live in. So that's how I'm going to address it. Like if you all want my opinions on that, it's too messy. Plus, I'm not Chinese, I'm not Taiwanese. I don't have a horse in the race to have an opinion on it. So don't worry about it. Also, shout out to the people in mainland China who watch my videos on a mirrored Chinese website. It comes up every like once a year. I Google my channel name just to make sure that there's nothing like salacious about me happening anywhere. You never know. And I always find that website, and somebody dutifully steals all of my videos and uploads it to this Chinese website. So they're my hero. Thank you. Continue. Don't stop. You have my permission to steal my videos so that people in mainland China can watch my videos, but people in Taiwan can watch my videos. Hello. You guys still have YouTube. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling because that's pretty much all that I've got for you. Like there's some interesting little tidbits here, but I'm saving them for Google Earth. So why don't we just hop over there? Let me grab my tablet, let me dim the lights, and we will go explore Changhua and learn a little bit more about its history on Google Earth. Let's go. Here we are in Changhua County. But let's start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. If you don't know where Taiwan is, don't worry. You're about to learn right now. It's pretty easy to spot. It's a huge island. You can see the Philippines to the south here. Of course, China's over here. Japan's just up here. The Ryukyu Islands of Japan aren't too far off. And there's beautiful Taiwan. As you can see, it's kind of like Madagascar, almost in like shape and geography, in that it's like, look at this. You see like how it's lumpy and then it's straight, and this is all like forest and mountains over here. Look at this if you've never seen Madagascar. Lumpy, straight forests. It's like a very tiny Madagascar, but that's where the similarities end. They are islands with slightly similar geographies. But you can see that there's so many beautiful mountains and such in Taiwan. So don't get it twisted. Don't think, oh, it's just one big industrial city, because we're only looking at this area. No, it's a beautiful island. So let's start over here in Changhua City. Here is the roundhouse. Look at this. Look how cool, the little train depots, all the trains sitting there. Yeah. There's an old little Hogwarts Express train. They've got trains from like all of the different eras. So yeah, this center part rotates so that the trains go on this, and it rotates them out to where they need to go. How neat is that? I think it's pretty cool. You can see the layout there. It's still functioning, but there's a museum here. Is that like the city mascot? Look at these guys. So cute. Welcome to Changhua City. Oh boy, I think that's the train mascot. Looks like a little Siamese cat. So cute. Were you a train kid? Let me know in the comments. Were you really into trains? I kind of wanted to be a train kid, but being a train kid requires, being like a hardcore train kid, you need a lot of money. I was a Hot Wheels kid. I loved Hot Wheels and making little tracks, and I like marble runs and stuff. I really wanted trains, but trains are pretty expensive to collect. See the big train tracks there. Over here we have Pakwashan, Pakwa Mountain. And up here on Mount Pakwa, we have this beautiful Buddhist complex here. This was built in, I believe, the 1960s. And up here is a giant Buddha. Now, this isn't just any old Buddha. As you can see, you can enter and walk around inside. It's a little museum inside. There's a beautiful fountain here, and there's a big temple behind it. Here it is. You can see the city from atop the mountain here. Big areas to explore the mountain, and yeah, inside is a Buddha museum essentially. There's a map of the mountain park up there, all the different structures you can see. But yeah, the Big Buddha, I saw it called Big Buddha, like multiple sources, so I assume that's its official name, is very much a symbol of the city. And there's the temple, there's the skywalk, which is going to make my stomach turn, so we won't look at that. But there's lots to see around here. The literature trail, which there are some very famous authors from Changhua, so this walk displays a lot of their works so that you can learn of the literature history of the city just by walking around in nature. Isn't that wonderful? But yeah, there's lots up here. Some industrial stuff too, and some homes over here. Over here, let's look at the Confucian Temple, which, gosh, I meant to write down what year this was built. It was in like the 9th century, I want to say. It is definitely like the most historic building in this area. The Confucian Temple, which, if you don't know, Confucianism is a Chinese-based philosophy, which I guess technically is a religion, but it's more of a lifestyle. It's kind of both. There's no like deity worship other than Confucius, but it is very much a lifestyle philosophy, in the same way that religions are also lifestyle philosophies. Here's the art museum over here. We've got all kinds of modern art. You can see some Christmas decor and some cute statues. That's really cute. I really like that, even though they're a little crazy. I think they're cute. Little camel there. Anything else I needed to show you in the city itself? I think that was about it. There's lots to see around here. As you can see, it's a big old bustling city, and what's wild is that you look at this and you're like, wow, it's so huge. It is such a very developed city, and this isn't even close to Taipei. This is just a little, let's look at Taipei up here. Taipei's a metropolis. Like Taipei, oh look, you can see the subway lines there, just like in Bangkok. Something they added to the last update in the everything filter is apparently like tram lines and subway lines. It's pretty cool. It's the night market, chicken restaurant. It sounds so good right now. But yeah, beautiful Changhua. We move over here to Lukang. There's a lot of Lukang that still exists. I should have said that this island was bombed by the Allies during World War II because it was Japanese. But a lot of these buildings and the old street here are from pre-war times and are just like classic old-time Chinese culture, I suppose you would say, like Qing Dynasty style architecture. Wow, that's amazing. The beautiful brick there and artwork on that building. That's so cool. And of course, all the little shops. I bet the food here absolutely slaps. There's a map of the street there. How cool is that? There's a lot of cool stuff over here. Where is it though? This old temple here is really cool. Look how beautiful. This is also a very, very old building, but I don't recall what time this is from. Look how amazing. Wow. It is stunning. Beautiful old tree there. There's lots of like important county trees in the area. I love that though. Very regal looking Buddha there. Wow. Those are all candles, I think. Are those all candles? Or are they just pictures? That'd be wild if they're all candles. Who lights those every day? Oh, cute. Wow. A big boat. Looks like it's made out of takeaway boxes. They do have a dragon boat festival down the river here in Changhua. We love to see it. That's always a fun time. And lantern festivals as well. But here's the coastline. Originally, and still, this area was designed to be a big port during the Qing Dynasty, but it really fell to the wayside when other areas of the island became more important. But as you can see, there's still a lot of industry and shipping along here, as well as some solar panel farms, and there's some wind farms over here as well. I forget where though. Over here, can you see the turbines over there? Can you see? Lots of energy farms, essentially. Look at all the solar panels. How amazing is that? That is a lot of solar panels. Amazing. And then there's some wetlands as well. Fubao wetlands. Got some beautiful flowers. Look at this. This must be low tide. Look at the big turbine back there. Yeah, this must be low tide, because I'm sure that this is all water during high tide. Pretty cool. It looks kind of messy. Look at all the cacti. Holy moly, do you see that? It's something you wouldn't expect to see in Taiwan is a bunch of cactuses. Finding some stuff there in the sand. Here in the wetlands. Somewhere down here too you can see more of this farmland here. Here's the Hanbao wetlands. Big wind turbines. Low tide here as well. Picking around for who knows what. Cool shells, little shellfish. I'm sure you can find all kinds of cool stuff. Very happy cows here. The place we're going to tomorrow has some very happy cows. I'll give you another hint at the end of the video. You can find all kinds of cool stuff here at low tide. Place to go if you like collecting cool rocks and shells and stuff like I do. I love all the little shells. Whenever I'm at an ocean, I try to find shells somewhere. But I think that was pretty much all that I found here that was of note. You can see the big mountain chain over here. There's lots of pretty hiking trails up here. Let's find one to end the video with. Let's see. I feel like I found one near the border here that was really pretty, but I don't remember where it was. This one, I think. I just remember this old trail for fetching water. Sounds so picturesque. Let's take a look at it while I wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this style of content, please consider subscribing. Like I said, we'll be going to Taiwan again in a few weeks, so hold tight. We've got a couple more Taiwan videos, I believe like 2 or 3 more, but there's one coming in like 3 weeks for sure. So be sure to subscribe if you want more Taiwan content. Also, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts down below. And I promised you a hint about the next video. We are going to the UK, but we're not going to England. We're not going to Scotland. We're not going to Wales. And we're not going to Northern Ireland. And your hint is cows. Do you know where we're going next? Let me know if you know. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational. And I hope that you have a good good, good, good.